They say in order to win in the Stanley Cup playoffs, your best players need to be your best players. Well, for the Calgary Flames, it's time for one of their best players to be better. We discussed that on the Shifts and Pucks podcast.
Yeah, and that, John, I think Johnny has been. I thought Johnny was he's not scoring, and that's the big. I mean, that's ultimately where you're getting measured. So I want to be careful what I'm saying. I think Johnny has been fine. I think he's, a couple of really key back checks. I think he's showing a commitment. Elias Lindholm, I thought, played better last night. Excuse me. Matthew Tkachuk, though. This is his line last night. You can go into the deeper stats here. -1, 1 shot and goal, 1 hit, 1 giveaway in 19 minutes and 17 seconds of playoffs. If that was a Trevor Lewis line, that'd be okay. That's your fourth line. This is a guy that has an A on his jersey. This is a guy that we talked about to put a captaincy. The next captain of the Calgary Flames. That's where people were 2 years ago in the bubble, because he showed so much fire in the press box. He was so frustrated by where this team was going. Matthew's going to lead this team. Sean. Look at him. He's been nowhere good enough. Like, it's not acceptable. And I know that the talk of the broken hand, but even that's on him. I'm not trying to be a callous, cold ass when I say this, but he made a poor judgment in a fight if it's a broken hand. He hasn't been nearly good enough in this playoffs. I said it last night. I think there's some Flame fans that are irate about it and think that this is stupid. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the NHL. And if this is about for a guy that wants to be paid $8 million to play hockey, he is not showing nearly enough for me in this. And this is the Battle of Alberta. This is where he should be in the fabric of this. The Edmonton Oilers fans should be tweeting F-bombs at what he is doing to them on the ice. They're laughing at him. They're simply laughing at him. It's nowhere near good enough. I don't know what else to say. And I'm struggling with the fact that there are Flame fans defending this. If he was in Vancouver and if he was in Toronto and he was playing this way, Twitter would eviscerate him. The Leaf fan base would absolutely eviscerate him for this performance. Can you imagine a Steve Dangle rant on Matthew Tkachuk with this type of performance? Can you imagine what Devin would say as a Leaf with Matthew Tkachuk's performance? Can you imagine John from Hot Take Hockey with this type of performance if he was wearing a Leaf jersey? And can you imagine Canucks Twitter if Matthew Tkachuk was wearing a Canucks jersey with this? This is just not nearly enough acceptable. Like, it's not. He's one of the best players in the game. You argue he has 100 points. Well, he's not showing even remotely close to the passion that you need. Chris Tanev is out there with one arm trying to do something, and Matthew Tkachuk is not. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up some stats here because do you know who the hit leader in the playoffs is right now?
Connor McDavid, I believe. I'm guessing.
It's Evander Kane. McDavid's is up there though.
Yeah.
Evander Kane has been credited with 53 hits, and hits are a weird stat where you, depending on how it's very subjective on what is or isn't a hit. But McDavid's got 35. And now we'll find Tkachuk. 13.
It's not even remotely close to good enough.
A reminder, we recap Flames games the day after every game. You can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network.